Good evening. I am Arachna, the spider people, your hostess with the mostess. And welcome to Beware Theater, because this be where you're gonna see some really bad movies. We've got vampires, aliens, werewolves, monsters, and of course, the undead. So take a load off, pull up a couch, and fasten your seatbelt. It's gonna be a creepy night. Tonight, we watch a 1942 horror mystery, The Undying Monster. It was based on a 1922 book of the same name, directed by John Bram, and distributed by 20th Century Fox 1 year after Universal Studios distributed their mega hit, The Wolfman. You see, 20th Century Fox wanted to get in on the werewolf craze, but unfortunately this movie just wasn't as popular, but it's still worth watching. The Undying Monster takes place on the craggy coastal cliffs of England, where it's desolate and foggy and really creepy. Also really creepy, this movie takes place in Hammond Hall, which was one of the oldest inhabited houses in all of England, and which legend says has been cursed since the Crusades. Cursed. So what's the curse? Well, it's this really cryptic poem. When the stars shine bright on a frosty night, beware thy bane in the rocky lane. What does that mean? I don't know, but let's watch and we'll find out. This movie is about two Scotland Yard forensic detectives who use the latest scientific methods of the day to try to solve the mystery of what kind of brutal creature is killing people, and also, if there really is a curse, killing off the Hammond men. There's a creepy old mansion with rattling chains and slamming doors. There's a locked secret room. There's disappearing clues. There's a crypt with this weird, ugly dog statue. And there's this savage beast, monster, whatever, killing people. Maybe. So now we watch The Undying Monster.
Hammond Hall, at the turn of the century, when the age-old mystery of the Hammond Monster was at last revealed to all England. That mystery, which, although by 1900 had become a legend, was indeed a real tragedy and constant threat to the lives of all the seemingly doomed members of the House of Hammond.
I beg your pardon, Miss Helga. I didn't mean to startle you.
Oh, I must have fallen asleep. cold.
Yes, it's a cold night, Miss Helga. I'll put on another log.
Don't bother. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to turn in. My brother come in yet?
Not yet. He's very late.
He and Dr. Colbert probably got to puttering about the laboratory and forgot the time. Don't worry. He'll be along directly.
I was thinking those poachers might be up to their tricks on a night like this.
Come on, Alex. Long past your bedtime.
Charlie Tadpole was saying down in the village he owed Mr. Oliver one for that thrashing he gave him last week.
What does he expect? Oliver caught him setting traps. Come on, Alex. Go on, old boy. What's the matter with him?
Sometimes dogs are smarter than folks.
Oh, nonsense. He's just smart enough to prefer sleeping by the fire to the doghouse. Go on to bed now. Behave yourself. Hurry up. How big and bright the stars look tonight.
Aye, and there's frost on the ground, too. It was just such a night when some madness...
So that's what's worrying you. Don't be silly, Walton.
I only hope Mr. Oliver doesn't take the shortcut back. That path by the edge of the cliff.
Why shouldn't he?
When stars are bright on a frosty night, beware thy bane on the rocky lane.
Surely you don't put any stock in that old legend.
It's only 20 years ago since your grandfather was killed.
Grandfather killed himself.
After he'd seen it.
That's ridiculous. There's nothing to that story about a monster.
Oh, I shall never forget that night when I found your grandfather down there on that path by the edge of the cliff. After he'd met it, so horribly mangled, and that insane look on his face.
That's absurd. A supernatural creature going about killing and sending its victims mad. People don't believe in that sort of thing nowadays.
I'm sorry to worry you, Miss Helga, but I do wish Mr. Oliver were home.
All right, if it'll ease your mind, I'll ring up and see if he's left yet. Would you please get me southbound, 236?
Hello? Hello, Helga. Oliver? No, he left not more than 2 minutes ago. Yes, he said he was going straight home. That's all right. Oh, I say, Helga, how about a ride in the morning? No, that's not professional advice. It's purely social. Fine. About 10? All right, I'll see you then. Good night.
He just left. That make you feel better?
Thank you, miss.
Good night, Walton.
Good night, miss.
It's probably a dog caught in a trap.
That's no dog.
Something is going on down there.
Hammond. It's the monster, killing Mr. Oliver most like. Horrible it were, like a dog.
Get a hold of yourself, Will.
Sounds like a lost soul.
All right, let's find out what it is.
You're not going down there.
Tell Stredick to bring the carriage round.
Yes, Miss Stredick's got 2 bays on it.
Very well, we'll have the gates opened. Mrs. Wharton, fetch me a coat. Don't stand there gaping as if you'd seen a ghost.
But, Miss Helga, no Hammond ever ventures into the rocky lane on a frosty night.
You've been doing your best to persuade me my brother's ventured down there. And if he has,
Then I'll go with you.
Thanks, Wharton. But you better stay and mind the house.
Yes, miss.
Tell Stredick to bring the horses round to the front.
Yes, miss.
And get me Oliver's revolver.
Yes, miss.
Helga, please don't go out tonight.
Don't worry, Mrs. Wharton. I'm sure there's some rational explanation for all this. But if there is anything out there tonight, I'd like to get a crack at it. And I'm a jolly good shot. I'll drive them, Stredick. Get in.
But, Miss Helga.
Come on, Alex. Good boy, Alex. Maybe you can help. Get in the back. Along here somewhere, I'm sure.
Miss Helga, won't you please go back?
Give me a lantern.
Yes, miss. Let me have the lantern. I'll go ahead.
Oh, it's a bit scary down here. Oliver! 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 Alex!
Oliver's dog.
A spaniel. Is he dead?
Horribly. His whole body is twisted and his hind legs have been... Miss Helga, now won't you go back?
Not until I find my brother. Alive. Thank heaven. Help me get him to the carriage.
Yes, miss.
What was that?
I don't know, miss.
Don't stand there like an owl. Go and get some brandy.
Yes, Mom.
Hello, Helga. I get into bed.
I found you in the lane on the cliff and brought you home.
In the lane? But how did... I don't remember... Yes, I do remember. I was fighting the beast got Kate. Is she...
She's still unconscious. We've done what we could for her.
Must have gone for her after I fought it off.
What was it, Oliver?
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Well, Oliver, I'm glad to see you awake and talking. That's a good sign.
How's Kate?
Still in a coma. She may or may not come out of it.
But there is a chance.
Microscopic, but thanks to your quick action, still a chance. Well, you're a pretty good nurse, Helga. There's nothing left for me to do but a bit of tidying up. Now, tell me, what happened exactly?
I don't know exactly, Jeff. As I was leaving your house, I saw a glimmer of light on the pathway leading up to the cliff. So I went to investigate. I thought perhaps it might be somebody setting traps. You know, the clag pools. But it was Kate O'Malley. She left a few minutes before I did, you remember. I offered to see her to the village, and suddenly I felt something coming at us from all sides at once.
We heard it.
Kate screamed and dropped the lantern. And it closed in on me like a blast from a furnace. It wasn't hot, it was... It was simply horrible. Kate screamed again, and then I was fighting it. Fighting it in a darkness that went all red. All dark red, until a splash of fire split it up and put it out. That must have been when I pitched on my head. And I woke in the light and saw Helga.
You poor darling.
Helga, you're next. You're the only Hammond left besides me. If I die...
Now, wait a minute, old chap. Who said anything about dying?
The monster's never satisfied, Jeff. Unless it kills its victim or...
Now, steady, Oliver. You mustn't excite yourself.
You needn't talk as though I were a scared kid or a lunatic. I tell you, there's something horrible out there. Unless we destroy it, it'll destroy us. Both of us.
Please try to put it out of your mind now, darling. Get some sleep.
So legend has it that an immortal, brutal monster roams the hills and the cliffs near Hammond Hall. And on cold, starry nights, it attacks people and animals and shreds them limb from limb. Ugh, what a legend. Now, no nonsense Helga Hammond, who's one of the two remaining Hammonds, she doesn't buy any of that superstitious rot, she says. There's no monsters. Well, she doesn't believe it until one cold, starry night, her brother's late coming home. And then she hears this howling and blood-curdling screams and all out near the rocks. Even though she doesn't believe in monsters, she realizes what she just heard can't be a good thing. So she springs into action, grabs her brother's gun and her big dog and her groomsman and drives her buggy out to the cliffs and negotiates these hairpin turns. And you know, it's a good thing that that was a set, folks, because those horses just barely made it around those turns without turning the whole thing over. So then Helga looks down the rocks and sees her brother, slashed and bleeding and laying there. And near him is the local doctor's assistant, Kate O'Malley, and she's in even worse shape. So somehow or other, Kate and the groomsmen get them both back to Hammond Hall. And when Oliver wakes up, he can't remember anything. Maybe some red or maybe a monster, but he doesn't know what happened. And Kate is near death. She's in a coma. And Dudley, what are you doing? You're learning to drive a 2-horse hitch so you can help the police solve this mystery. Dudley, those are cardboard cutout horses. They're not real. Oh, you're using cutout horses so they don't leave horse apples on the carpet. Thank you for that.
Here, drink this. Make you feel better. Poor darling. It must have been a shock for you finding them like that.
It was awful.
I can't help feeling that I'm somehow to blame, about Kate at least. She'd been working late and I should have seen her home, I suppose. But it's hardly a stone's throw to the village through the shortcut past your place.
Jeff, there's something beyond all this that frightens me. What is it? What is this thing that's been hanging over us for years?
The village folk will insist that the Hammond Monster has returned.
But you don't believe in that superstitious rot, do you?
Usually some basis for this sort of thing.
How badly is Oliver hurt?
His wounds are deep but not serious. Fortunately, he's got excellent recuperative powers.
What about his mind?
Seems unaffected. Most anybody might be liable to forget exactly what happened after a blow like that on the head.
Haven't you any idea what sort of a creature made the wounds?
Oliver and Kate are badly mauled, but there's no distinctive mark to indicate exactly what attacked them. It could have been a ferocious dog, of course.
Those poachers have a couple of huge vicious hounds.
Now, look here, darling. Why don't you forget about this tonight and try to get some sleep? I'll run along. I'm sure by tomorrow the police will find out what it was.
I've done it, Bob. It works.
Really? This must be our lucky day. These tests turned out well, too.
My dear boy, all London knows that you solved the Kensington murder with your scientific test when everything else had failed, but nobody's been able to do what I've done.
And what complicated formula, Christie, have you proved?
Here, taste it.
Oh, no, thanks.
Go on, it won't hurt you.
Oh, hello, Inspector. I was about to come up and see you. We collated the final runoff tests on those bullets.
They were all fired from the same revolver. Inspector Craig, have a piece.
What is it?
Toffee, a new recipe.
Don't tell me that you've been using our laboratory equipment to make toffee.
Don't mind if I do. Don't touch it.
Mr. Curtis, you may not think much of female detectives, but really, it's simply delicious. The best I've ever made. Your pan...
You used that pan?
Well, why not? If making toffee isn't scientific.
But that's the pan that I used for the hydrophobia culture, and it turned out positive.
Hydrophobia... Oh! Oh!
That'll fix her. Here, Inspector, help yourself.
No, thank you. She'll have her stomach pumped.
It serves her right. She's a good detective, but she gets restless unless something's happening that makes her blood run cold. You know, her prime passion is dabbling in the occult.
Maybe the Hammond case would interest her.
What's up, Inspector?
Nothing tangible yet, but I'd appreciate it if you'd look into it. You might solve something there with these gadgets of yours that's baffled us for a long time.
If those are orders, Inspector, I'm ready. Christy and I could do with a weekend in the country.
I think it'll take longer than a weekend. And it might turn out to be rather dangerous.
Well, if you're thinking about Christy, don't worry. She thrives on goose pimples.
Don't laugh at me, Bob. But I sometimes think that there are some things that can't be explained in the ordinary way. And I want to warn you. You'd best be prepared to cope with something perhaps supernatural.
Oh, but Inspector Craig.
I know what you're going to say. There's no such thing, that from the viewpoint of science, all phenomena have a material basis.
I've never yet met a case of ghostly interference that wouldn't stand investigation.
That's why you're the man for the job.
Miss Hammond is waiting in your office, sir.
Coming. Here, read the report of the case and then come up. I want you and Christy to look the Hammond girl over.
Right.
And that's all there was to it, Inspector.
Yes, of course. You must forgive me for asking you up to London.
Naturally, but there's nothing more I can add that you don't already know.
You're sure there's nothing else you want to tell me? May I present Mr. Robert Curtis, Chief of our laboratory staff, and his assistant, Miss Cornelia Christopher. This is Miss Hammond.
How do you do?
How do you...
You don't look like the sort of girl who'd be mixed up in any trouble like this.
He said precisely the same thing to Miss Coulter, the Stashwaite murderess, before he sent her to the gallows.
Christy.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. I didn't mean to shock you. That's just my clumsy way of assuring you that we'll find the murderer.
But there's been no murder.
No murder? Then what am I doing here?
My dear Miss Christopher, the Hammond case has been in our files for a long time. I knew your grandfather well. He was a brave and gallant soldier.
I hardly remember him. I was only a child when he...
Yes, I know, my dear. It's always been hard for me to believe that such a fine man could kill himself.
Unless he had a very good reason. Miss Hammond, Scotland Yard has no desire to pry into people's private lives. But we'd hope that you'd tell us about the monster.
A monster? Now we're getting somewhere.
There's no such thing.
But there is a legend.
Yes.
To the effect that centuries ago, one of your ancestors sold his soul to the devil and still lives in a secret room in Hammond Hall, issuing forth at intervals to make the sacrifice of a human life in order to prolong his own.
I didn't think you knew the story.
I'm sorry, Miss Hammond, to have to bring a matter which I know must be painful to you out into the open.
But we've done nothing to merit having our name dragged through a newspaper scandal.
We'll keep the investigation strictly undercover.
Then there is to be an investigation.
I'm afraid there's nothing we can do about it. That's official.
Very well, then. I'll help you all I can.
Oh, that's odd. We were thinking we were going to help you.
Thank you, but I'm sure I can take care of myself. When should we expect you?
Oh, but we're moving in with you. And I warn you, I've got an appetite like a horse. What a divinely gloomy old house.
Just the sort of place a reliable ghost would haunt.
It's one of the oldest inhabited houses in England. We're coming to the shortcut. Shall we start?
Right. I'd like to have a preliminary look around. Want to come along, Christy?
No, if you don't mind. It's much too early in the day to tax my poor brain. Dear, run me up to the hall, will you?
Delighted. Do you think it's wise, Helga, to go down there? After last night, I mean.
Oh, don't worry. When Bobby gets on the trail of a ghost, its haunting days are practically over. Toodaloo. See you at lunch if not before. Golly, I'm famished. I do hope that bloodthirsty spook hasn't raided the pantry. Oliver!
Hello, Helga. I say, old girl, don't look so startled. I'm all right. I woke before the scheduled time, and even Jeff had to admit there was no necessity for my staying in bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is my brother Oliver, Mr. Curtis from Scotland Yard.
Glad to see you, Mr. Curtis. Oh, it's a bit late to do anything for poor Kate.
She's
alive, but still in a coma. Even if we find the answer to this, it won't help her much, I'm afraid.
I see the local police are already on the job.
Yes, they just got here. Not even the constable would venture out in these parts until broad daylight.
I tell you, was those clad fools. No, Warren, we can't jump to conclusions. We haven't found any tracks, neither of them nor the dogs.
Constable, this is Mr. Curtis.
Oh, Mr. Curtis. I've been expecting you, sir. Well, I got your wire, sir. Now, nothing's been disturbed.
Interesting case you have here, Constable.
I wouldn't exactly say that interesting's the word, sir.
What about those poachers, Constable?
Well, it could have been them, of course.
I'm afraid we're dealing with something more serious than a couple of poachers.
Have you examined the spaniel?
We have that, sir.
No teeth marks or other clues as to the nature of what attacked him, I suppose?
No, sir.
Strange he didn't warn you of the approach of your assailant.
I know it sounds fantastic, but is there a possibility he didn't see it?
Even a supernatural being would have to take on material form in order to inflict such serious injuries.
No, I think perhaps we can find an explanation for all this without calling in spooks.
Could you tear a dog that size to pieces, Constable?
Well, perhaps not. 2 men could between them.
Or perhaps a large animal.
Oh, I might say yes, but nothing that size has passed through here lately. Now, anything big enough to do a thing like this would have to leave tracks.
Not necessarily. How about a big monkey? I suppose you've checked up to find out if one has escaped anywhere.
There's no shows in the vicinity, sir.
There's a zoo about 8 miles from here.
A monkey seems a likely notion. It's a possibility, of course. Shall I check up on it, sir?
Can't do any harm.
Right, sir.
Who's that fellow in the velveteens?
That's Warren, Kate's fiancé. They were to have been married. Poor fellow is all broken up.
You don't really believe that ape theory?
No, but it'll give them something to play around with. Then they won't have time to worry about me.
You have any theory at all?
It's too early to form an opinion yet, but we have to figure on something with almost superhuman strength. Who tears with grasping paws and bites ferociously. Whose approach even a dog can't sense. Who comes and goes, heaven knows how, without leaving any tracks.
Find anything?
Nothing of any importance.
Mr. Curtis and Miss Christopher will be stopping with us a few days, Walt.
Yes, sir.
Miss Christopher, I want you to meet my brother Oliver.
How do you do, Miss Christopher?
Why, you poor dear boy. What a ghastly experience that must have been for you last night. Oh, come and sit by me and tell me all about it.
You know, I'm awfully rude, not waiting for you. But luncheon comes through once a day, and I thought it was a pity to spoil it.
I could do with a couple of those pork sausages myself. I always make it a practice never to hunt down ghosts on an empty stomach.
You know, my dear, ghosts don't like nice warm rooms. And there doesn't seem any point in tempting that spook of yours to barge in on us while we're eating.
Don't tell me you've already decided it's here in the house.
Well, you can laugh if you want to. But there's something here. Something strange. Very strange. I can feel it.
I should have warned you. Miss Christopher suffers from an overdeveloped supercalifragilis.
A supercola what?
Feminine instinct.
Good gracious. What was that?
Door slamming, I imagine. Wind's come up.
I thought I heard someone scream.
It's probably Millie, the new maid. Her hair's been standing on end ever since last night. Maybe you better go and see Mrs. Walton.
Yes. Millie! Oh, what's the matter with you?
The monster! It's here in the house!
Are you out of your mind?
I tell you, it's here in there! It slammed the door right in my face!
Be quiet, girl. You don't know what you're saying. There's nothing in there?
Mr. Oliver didn't see nothing last night either. I tell you, there's something in there. Even if the rain... What was that?
I don't know.
What was that?
Clanking chains. What did I tell you? Seems to be coming from the direction of the crypt.
There's a crypt in the house?
Yes, down in the cellar. Some Agnes is buried there.
Let's have a look around.
It's
splendid. Maybe we'll catch the ghost for the showdown.
This place is colder than a tax collector's heart.
Everyone seems to be resting in peace.
By daylight, at least.
Who's the crusader?
Sir Reginald Hammond. He lived in King Richard's time. Was killed in Palestine.
Is that supposed to be the monster?
I told you there isn't any monster.
If that's a lapdog, I'm a canary bird.
Can you make anything of it?
It might be meant for anything on 4 feet. People have always bred the dog into fantastic shapes. But that's no canine tail, those round paws. It's rather curious.
Who's this beautiful specimen of manhood?
Sir Oliver. Now, why would such a handsome man want to kill himself?
It's a sort of junior Westminster Abbey, isn't it? Yes, Miss Christopher. It's been the family burying place for 500 years.
Oh, Miss Hammond. You admitted that there was a legend in the family. Why not trot it out so we can all have a look at it?
I've told you everything I know.
You didn't tell us about all these ancestors of yours who were killed by this so-called monster. Or who killed themselves after meeting it. Why do you insist on hiding?
Now, look here, old man.
Is there by any chance a reason why you don't want this brought out in the open, Dr. Cohen?
Certainly not. I'm only thinking of Helga. She's had enough to worry her since the other night, and I see no point in upsetting her unnecessarily.
It's all right, Jeff.
I'm sorry, Miss Hammond. I don't mean to distress you, but...
Exactly what is it you want to know, Mr. Curtis?
Well, for one thing, what about this chap who sold his soul to the devil and is said to live in a secret room?
That's nonsense. There is a secret room in the
There's
cellar.
nothing in it.
How do you know?
I've been in it.
Lately?
I say, Curtis, this isn't a court of law, you know.
The room's been untouched for centuries. We finally locked it up several years ago.
Mind if I have a look at it?
Not at all. The key right here. Come along.
Coming, Curtis?
Right.
So here is where this movie becomes part Sherlock Holmes mystery and part monster movie. Because, well, Scotland Yard had long been fascinated with the legend that Grandpa Hammond had sold his soul to the devil, was doing human sacrifices, and was living in a secret room in Hammond Hall. And since all other methods had failed to solve the mystery of what or who has been attacking people, Scotland Yard sends their new forensic scientist and his assistant to Hammond Hall to try to solve this mystery with science and deduction. So Curtis deduces that whatever attacked Oliver, Kate, and shredded Oliver's dog had superhuman strength, long claws, and fangs. Now, Miss Christie, she uses her feminine intuition to deduce that the slamming doors and the crankling chains means that there's a ghost in Hammond Hall. You think? But both of them agree that down in the crypt, that statue of that dog sure looked like a monster to them. And speaking of dogs, Dudley, what are you doing? Oh, you're interviewing Scooby to see how he solves monster mysteries.
That Christopher woman suspects something.
They won't find anything.
We shall see to it that they don't.
Shh! Would you add another crime to all the others?
There are some things it's better not to know about.
I say, Alex, what are you doing here?
You rascal, you scared us.
someone here. Someone besides us.
Barton! What are you doing here?
I beg your pardon, sir. I didn't mean to startle you. I was on my way to the cellar to get some wine for dinner.
I wish you'd stop sneaking up on people like that. Can't you cough or sneeze or do something, let a person know you're about?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
It's just an excuse to keep an eye on me. Probably expects me to go out and hang myself at any moment.
Oliver!
Don't worry, darling. I'm much too fond of this old earth.
Creepy sort of a chap, that Walton.
He may seem odd to you, but he's really a very kind, fatherly person.
Has he been with the family long?
Oh, ever since I can remember.
He seems to have something on his mind.
It's here.
Supercalifragilistic.
Be quiet, don't move. There's something in the air. Something out of the ordinary. Something very strange.
Nonsense.
It's no ghost. Or the dog would have noticed.
Your dog didn't notice anything last night either, did he?
That's right.
That's odd.
I'd say that it rather neatly disposes of the supernatural.
It does, Doctor?
I'd say so.
Well, that seems to settle it.
When stars are bright on a frosty night, beware thy bane in the rocky lane.
Oh, pretty little ditty. Someone ought to set it to music.
Sounds like a pretty definite warning to me. Yet you ignored it last night.
To tell you the truth, I never took it very seriously.
Seems rather like flying in the face of fate in view of what happened to your ancestors.
Superstitious rot.
Well, superstitions are often based on fact.
If you want to know more about it, there's a family history in the library.
Thanks, I'll have a look at it. How long did you say it was since anyone has been in this room?
3 or 4 years at least.
You're sure?
I have the only key.
And you haven't been here recently?
Not since Helga and I came here about 3 years ago, and
When what?
we decided to lock up the room for good.
Why?
For the simple reason we never used it.
I see, and you haven't been here since.
Frankly, Mr. Curtis, I don't see the necessity for this cross-examining. If Helga and Oliver say that...
Somebody's been in this room within the last 24 hours. Those are pretty hefty footprints for a ghost.
I told you there wasn't a ghost.
Anybody could have made them. Why, they could be mine if I'd had a key to get in here. But let's see if they fit, eh? Oh, I'd say I am a clumsy ox.
Unfortunate, Doctor, that you had to pick this particular moment in which to lose your balance.
The last time I lost mine, I had one too many.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, old man. Why don't you send this fellow Curtis packing?
One doesn't send a Scotland Yard man packing, Jeff.
You needn't submit to this sort of thing, you know, this cross-examination. We still have laws to protect a person's privacy.
You don't like him, do you?
I'm afraid I don't.
Look, Jeff, you deliberately smeared those footprints. Why did you do that?
Don't you realize they might have been anybody's? Mine, Walton's, Oliver's? Why should we let this detective involve innocent people in an investigation that's entirely uncalled for?
Mr. Curtis is trying to help us. And if we can help him...
Oh, Miss Hammond!
I'll run upstairs. I want to look in on Kate.
He's pretty fond of you, isn't he?
Dr. Kovit's one of my best friends.
That undoubtedly accounts for his aversion to me.
Do you always analyze everything, Mr. Curtis?
Miss Hammond, if your brother were killed last night, you'd have become sole heir to the estate, wouldn't you?
Why, I suppose so. Why?
Then someone who knew this legend of the monster might have used it to get rid of your brother.
I'm afraid I don't follow you.
With Oliver out of the way, your husband, if you had one, would control the estate.
You mean Jeff? That's absurd.
Perhaps. But why should a man of his ability bury himself way up here in this little village, instead of practicing in London where he belongs?
Maybe you better ask him that.
Doctor. I wanted to get that book Mr. Hammond mentioned. Do you happen to know where it is?
Why, yes, in this bookcase, I believe. That's curious. Used to be right here. I've seen it often.
Looks like somebody else is interested in the history of the Hammond family, eh?
I may be mistaken. I thought it was there. Perhaps you better look around.
Or perhaps that's just one more thing I'm not supposed to know about. I remember now. You practiced in London a couple of years ago. Specialized in nervous diseases. Yes, that's it. You're a brain specialist.
I've had some little success in that line, yes.
Why did you leave London?
Now, look here, I resent your attitude. My affairs happen to be my own business. Now, thank you to bear that in mind.
Sorry, Doctor. But whether you believe it or not, I'm trying to help Miss Hammond and her brother. And I have a feeling they'll need help.
The best way you can help them is to go back to London.
Dr. Cubbard, I'll make a deal with you. You tell me frankly what you know about all this, and I'll drop out.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Have you any objection to telling me where you were last night?
I was in my laboratory.
I see.
I talked with Helga on the telephone not 2 minutes before.
That's true, Mr. Curtis.
Are you positive it was only 2 minutes, Miss Hammond? Things happened pretty thick and fast about that time, you know. You could have miscalculated.
Walton was right in the room with me. He'll verify it.
I expect he would.
Dr. Cobber, come quick. It's Miss Kate.
The girl's dying?
I'm afraid so, sir. Mr. Curtis, there's one thing I feel you ought to know.
Yes?
The other night, Mr. Oliver and Miss Kate were mauled and scratched as if by some wild beast. That wasn't everything.
Go on.
You know that Miss Kate hasn't come out of it. But she isn't just unconscious. It's as if she was, well, paralyzed or drugged.
Dr. Cooper tell you this?
No. I could tell by the look of her. I know about such things. But if you don't mind, sir, I'd rather you didn't tell anyone.
I won't unless I have to, Mrs. Walton. And thanks.
From what I can gather about this wretched spook, you're not going to find it under that glass.
I'm not sure this wretched spook, as you call it, was responsible for what happened.
Neither am I. What about that doctor? He smeared up those footprints deliberately, didn't he?
Don't tell me you had to rely on your feminine instinct to arrive at that brilliant conclusion.
He knows more about all this than he's telling.
That's the trouble. They all do.
The girl, too?
All of them.
Oh, dear, and here at last I thought you were casting sheep's eyes at a pretty girl.
Well, that doesn't prevent me from knowing she's hiding something.
Whatever can it be?
I've got an idea, but I need proof.
Would this interest you?
I don't know. Looks like a tuft of hair.
The dog's?
I don't think so. It's too coarse. But what do you make of this?
Oh, it looks like a scrap torn from a muffler.
That's what I made of it.
Whose do you suppose?
That, my pet, is for you to find out. Good work, Walton.
I wasn't aware.
That you were being watched? You did a very thorough job, Walton. You needn't look so guilty, you know. You'd make a very poor accomplice.
Accomplice?
Come now, out of it. What were you burning?
Waste paper. We always burn it.
In this room? That won't do. You went out of your way to burn something that you wanted to get rid of. You chose this room because you thought you wouldn't be seen.
Yes.
It wasn't waste paper at all, was it, Walton?
No, sir.
It was something you didn't want me to find because you thought it might incriminate you.
That's not true, sir. It was... I'm sorry, sir, but I can't say.
You realize this puts you in a very serious position. Walton, I'm sure that you've given long years of service to the Hammonds. I know that you'd do anything in the world to help them. Why won't you let me help them?
Mr. Curtis, leave Hammond Hall. Go back to London. before it's too late.
Too late? What are you keeping from me?
There are some things that are beyond the understanding of us who live on this earth. You are not safe here. Miss Christopher's in danger, too. Won't you go back?
I'm sorry, Walton, but we've a job to do here, and I mean to see it through.
Very good, sir. No one can say I didn't warn you.
Don't tell me you're doubling for the monster.
Well, I don't know anything about the monster.
You surely didn't come here to say your prayers.
I don't see as it's any of your business.
You and Walton happen to be the only two members of the household beside Miss Hammond who were up and above when the attack occurred.
Mr. Curtis, I don't know anything about the monster. I swear I don't.
You better tell me what you're up to, Stredick. Oh, so that's what those ghost chains are all about.
I tell you, it ain't got nothing to do with the monster.
But it does have something to do with your being in the forest last night.
Is she?
Yes, she's gone. The body will have to remain here till the police complete their investigation. We'd better tell the others.
Helga, what is it?
Kate's dead.
I did everything I could for her. She never regained consciousness. We'll have to make a report to the constable, Helga. There'll be an inquest, you know.
Poor kid. Why did it have to happen to her? I tried to save her from it. I battled with all my strength. Should have put up a better fight.
You mustn't blame yourself, Oliver.
I have the most awful premonition. I'm sure it will strike again.
Among a whole lot of other creepy things in Hammond Hall is that secret room. You know, the one that's been locked up for centuries? Well, when they open it, nothing's in there except some very suspicious footprints that Dr. Jeff just clumsily stomps all over and ruins. So was Dr. Jeff trying to hide something? What am I saying? They're all hiding something. I mean, the butler burns something secret in the secret room. A poacher hides his chains in the crypt. The housekeeper thinks that Kate has been poisoned and paralyzed. And Dr. Jeff, well, I mean, he looks really suspicious. I mean, after he ruins those footprints, he hides the Hammond history book so that Curtis can't find it. And then Curtis confronts Helga and says, you know, if Oliver had been killed by whatever, and you marry Dr. Jeff, then Jeff gained control of this whole estate. You know what they say, follow the money. I would say that's a good motive for murder. And Oliver? Well, I'm not sure Oliver's hiding anything because, well, he can't remember anything. And Deadly, what are you doing with all those eyeballs? They're the latest forensic surveillance things. You're going to plant them all over Hammond Hall, spy on the family, and find out their secrets. Okay, good luck with that.
Let me advise the witnesses that they are under oath, and that it is their duty to give the coroner's jury all facts pertaining to this case. Gentlemen of the jury, your verdict as to the cause of the death of the deceased, Kate O'Malley, is to decide the future course of action in this case by His Majesty's government. Your judgment will be guided by the testimony of the witnesses. And I wish to impress upon all witnesses that perjury in connection with an official coroner's inquest is punishable to the full extent of the law. In the event of the jury rendering a verdict of murder, any witness withholding vital information or giving false testimony will be regarded as an accessory to the crime. Now, will you take the stand, please? Your name?
Charlie Clagpool.
The constable report states that you and your brother Tom were unlawfully setting traps when the fight in which you received a broken arm occurred.
We was in the woods, all right. We didn't kill Kate O'Malley. We was nowhere near her and Mr. Hammond.
You've not been accused of that. Is it true that on several previous occasions you had words with Mr. Hammond?
That's right. What about it?
That will be all. Mr. Struddy, take the stand.
Yes, sir.
Did you see the Clagpools on the night of the crime?
I suppose I did.
Can't you be sure whether you did or not?
Yes, I'm sure.
What were you doing in the woods at that time?
I was setting traps.
Stredic.
Oh, that's impossible.
I'm sorry, sir. I needed the money, I did.
Why didn't you tell us?
I couldn't. I'd been gambling. I had to cover my losses somehow. I hid the chains in the chapel.
Oh, dear. There go my lovely ghost chains.
As the attending physician, then, you would say the cause of death was due to precisely what?
Concussion of the brain and severe hemorrhage.
May I ask the witness a question?
Of course, if the witness has no objection.
None at all.
Dr. Covert, were there any contributing circumstances other than those you just mentioned?
I don't know exactly what you mean.
The deceased was in a comatose condition all the time prior to her death?
Yes, she never regained consciousness.
Could this have been caused by anything else besides a blow in the head?
From a medical viewpoint, that's possible, but hardly probable. My examination...
I'm not questioning the competence of your examination, Doctor. I want to know if Kate O'Malley had been drugged.
Definitely not.
Thank you, Doctor. That's all I wanted to know.
Have you reached a verdict, gentlemen?
Yes, sir. It is the opinion of this coroner's jury that Kate O'Malley died of injuries sustained during an attack by a person or persons unknown, or by a large savage animal species unknown.
There you are, Bob.
That's the verdict that's always been given in these Hammond cases. What do you think?
I think I'll be able to prove it's murder.
Curtis, we can't touch the body.
What body?
Kate O'Malley's.
Those villagers are a superstitious lot. They're convinced that there's something supernatural about it and they won't budge.
But I've got to get a blood specimen.
Kate O'Malley's parents have a legal right to refuse permission for an autopsy. But perhaps Dr. Covert...
No, not a chance. He ascribed death to normal conditions. Well, maybe it was a blind alley anyway. However, here's something that will interest you. Will you draw those blinds?
Yes.
We traced down a bit of cloth to a missing scarf, Oliver Hammond's. I've a hunch that Walton destroyed it.
Walton? Why?
That's what we're going to find out. Now, what did I do with that bit of cloth?
Well, here it is.
Oh, yes. First, we take a sample of the thread. Then we incinerate it, thus. Place it in this tube. Withdraw the air because the nitrogen and oxygen in air interferes with the desired light bands of the spectrum. Now we'll find out if this came from the same muffler that Walton destroyed.
But if Walton destroyed...
Science doesn't recognize total destruction. You can change the form of matter, but you can't actually destroy it. You see those thick groupings of lines at the left end?
Mm-hmm.
That indicates that the wool was dyed with one of the coal tar dyes of the paramino complex.
Do you mean it's an unusual sort of dye?
Precisely. The phenolin dye is unstable and hard to handle. That's why its use is generally avoided. Actually, it's toxic, poisonous.
Is that why you asked if that poor girl had been drugged?
On the contrary, I'm positive this has no relationship with Kate O'Malley's condition. I'm only trying to prove that this bit of cloth was torn from Oliver's muffler. This contains a sample of the substance that Walton burned.
They're identical.
Then it was Oliver's muffler that Walton burned.
Yes.
I've seen that look of yours before, young man. I'm willing to wager that you've about got your man.
I'm not convinced it is a man.
A woman? Animal, vegetable, or mineral?
It could have been a wolf.
Now listen. There have been no wolves running wild in England since the Middle Ages.
That's what stops me. But what do you make of this? I found this during my first investigation at the scene of the crime.
Obviously the hair of a large animal. A dog, perhaps.
All right. Get the spectrum slide of wolf's hair out of my case while I mount this. That shows the spectrum analysis of wolf's hair. And here's the one I found.
It's incredible.
Well, Inspector, that blows up your spook theory.
What's happened?
I don't know. It was sealed in this tube in vacuum. It just couldn't vanish in vacuum.
Where's the rest of it?
That's gone too.
It was here a moment ago. It seemed to disappear when the light struck it.
Perhaps there are still some things in this world that science hasn't found out about.
Everyone gone to bed, Walton?
Oh, yes, sir. Some time ago.
Mr. Curtis come back from London yet?
Not yet, sir. Miss Christopher said he would arrive on the lake train.
Oh.
It's another bitter cold night, sir.
Yes.
You're not going out, sir.
Why not?
There's frost on the ground.
Nonsense, Walton. I'm only going down to see if the gate's locked.
Oh, but, sir...
Stop worrying, Walton. I shan't go near the rocks. I've no wish to precipitate another tragedy.
Oh, hello, Doctor. Come on in.
What the devil are you up to?
Forgive me, old man, for breaking in this way. I had to make a blood test. There wasn't time to run down to my lab at Scotland Yard, so I took the liberty of availing myself of yours.
Could have shot you.
You could have, but you wouldn't.
You're pretty sure of yourself, aren't you, Geddes?
Sure enough of myself to know that the blood in this tube contains cobra venom extract.
Really? That's interesting. Whose blood is it?
Kate O'Malley's.
What are you driving at?
Quite a coincidence that this tube of yours should also contain cobra venom.
And what can that prove?
One of two things. Either you injected the cobra venom into Kate O'Malley's veins, or you deliberately withheld the information that venom was in the system at the coroner's inquest.
There was no reason for mentioning it. Had no bearing on the case. She didn't die from the venom.
But you did inject it into her vein.
No.
It could have gotten there through the scratches of whatever it was that clawed her.
Possible.
That's not only possible, but that's what happened. And you know what the monster is.
Yes.
You've known all along. Well, aren't you going to tell me?
I can't. It's not my secret.
Good heavens, man, there's been one murder. There's liable to be others. It came from the direction of Hammond Hall.
It's in the house.
In Miss Helga's room.
Christy! Oh, Bob.
For a moment, I thought you were the monster.
Quick! I saw it. It's got Helga.
What?
Yes.
Mr. Curtis sent for us.
You must have missed him. Doctor, come on! I'm afraid you're too late, Doctor.
God rest his soul.
Amen.
From a medical point of view, it was a rare case.
You would hope to cure him, wasn't that it?
I've been working on the theory that the shock of the cobra venom would eventually straighten out the dreadful kink in his brain.
Which he had inherited from his ancestors.
Precisely.
Didn't he suspect that he was a victim of lycanthropy?
No. In cases like this, the patient was never known. He thought he had a nervous affliction.
In the Middle Ages, they called such men werewolves, didn't they?
No, Christy.
No, she's quite right. You could put that in the report. It was a form of mania that caused his victim to imagine, consciously or subconsciously, that he was a werewolf. That book telling the history of the family had a hint in it.
Oh, so you were the one who stole it.
Yes, I'd hope to keep you from finding out.
That their ancestors were balmy.
Well, let us say, rather, that their ancestors handed it down from father to son throughout the ages. It appeared only in the men of the family, and only when the victim was out on a frosty night. They guarded the secret very carefully.
But the butler knew about it.
We know that now. That's why he burned Oliver's scarf. It had been torn to shreds by his dog. He was afraid we'd learn the truth, knowing that a faithful dog never attacks its own master.
Oh.
You know, Doctor, there were times when we were about to put the handcuffs on you.
Yes, I had to take that risk. Well, I'll be running along now to see how Helga is. You have all the information you need?
Thank you, Doctor. My report is complete.
Goodbye.
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 Quite a fellow.
Oh, my goodness.
Now what?
I just happened to think. I was sleeping in the next room the night that Wolfman grabbed his sister. What if he'd grabbed me?
Don't worry, Christy. Wolves will never bother you.
So there you have it. Another monochromatic movie marvel, and pretty creepy. This movie teaches me that lycanthropy can be tricky to diagnose. I mean, you could inherit it, or it could be transferred with a bite, depending on which 1940s werewolf movie you were watching. Also, while I was researching this movie, I discovered that that spectrometer that the detectives were using was a real thing. It was developed in the early 1900s when forensics was a growing science, and it has since become very important to police work worldwide. Just watch any cop show. So till next time, or not, this is Arachna of the Spider People, wishing you nighty night and reminding you that if you get attacked by a werewolf, be sure it's not one that's been injected with cobra venom. That could paralyze and kill you. Dudley, I told you I would help you in your new job, but it's cold out here. Why couldn't we take the car? It has a heater. What? Okay, I get it. Okay. This is official business and we need to take the official vehicle. Oh, next time I'll pack a blanket. Wow, now that's a castle. I wonder what was so important that they had to call us in the middle of the night. Okay, well, let's go find out. Wow, Dudley, look at those knockers. I hope they don't bite. Let's see who's home. No. Who goes there? Hello, I'm Arachna of the Spider People, and this is Dudley, and we're answering a call from this residence to the HSJD.
HSJD?
HSJD, the High Strange Justice Department. Do you perhaps have a strange paranormal emergency here?
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you for coming so quickly. Please come in. Follow me. Pardon the mess.
What's your emergency?
Oh, well, Master Boris and Mistress Zelda are having an extreme reaction to their affliction. Pardon the mess. Through here. Reaction to their
affliction?
They are especially destructive tonight. Probably because I locked them in the crypt before moonrise.
Moonrise?
The townspeople are tired of their rampages and are threatening to blow up our castle. Oh.
Rampages? Crypts? Bombs? What's going on here?
Here they are.
Oh, now I get it. Werewolves. Those guys are really unpredictable, ma'am. Deadly, we should have brought the Kevlar vest and the SWAT gear.
So, agents, do you have anything that'll stop this curse?
What's all the ruckus? Can't a guy get some sleep around here? Oh, the moon is up already. Drat that daylight savings time. My alarm didn't go off. I'm late. Mom, Dad, get a hold of yourselves. Stop fighting. Oh, and by the way, I'm going out, and don't wait up for me. Hey, get me out of here. It's time for my midnight stroll and snack.
Sorry, not until we can get your parents to control themselves. These bars won't hold them very much longer. Do you have anything that will stop them from changing?
So Deadly, do we have anything in our case here that could help these people? So Alina, how long have they had this problem?
Well, Master Ivan's ancestors immigrated from Transylvania centuries ago, and they built this castle to be just like the one that they had back there. However, they discreetly fed on the townspeople for centuries until one day, Master Ivan's great-grandfather got bit by a mutant werewolf. And ever since then, this family has been cursed with lycanthropy. Master Dmitri, however, his DNA doesn't seem to have been altered from being a straight-out vampire.
The longer you keep me locked up here, the more I want to bite your necks.
Yes, we do have some high-tech scientific breakthrough things in here. Let's see.
I called you to see if you have anything that can remove the werewolf gene and return them back to their true blood-sucking nature before the public finds out who they are. Such an aristocratic vampire family shouldn't have to suffer such indignity.
Not that. Yeah, not that. And definitely not that. What, Deadly? Oh, Alina, go boil some water and bring some towels. This could get messy.
Yes, I can do that. Be back in a flash.
In the meantime, we'll try a more traditional method. Oh, here it is. Wolfbane extract. Ah! Let go, Deadly. Well, that hardly ever happens. Well, I guess we'll have to go on to Plan B. Okay, you guys, we're trying to help you, but if you're going to be like that, then we're going to have to call a truce and have a drink together, okay? Thank you, Alina. All right. Okay.
Here's to a truce. One for you. One for you. And one for you.
No, I never drink yellow, only red.
Oh, it's okay, Dimitri. Just pretend it's blood of albinos, okay?
Sounds kinky. Very well.
Here.
Not bad. Fruity, a taste of lemon, and an oak finish. Are you all right, my dear?
My hair and my dress are a mess. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, Master Ivan, Mistress Zelda, welcome back. I was so worried.
Welcome back. From where?
Here, have a towel. Clean yourselves up. Dimitri, get up off that filthy floor. What are you doing down there?
What was in that drink?
A drink?
I have such a headache.
Will you look at that, Deadly? Cobra poison worked. Oh, thank you, Arachna and Deadly. You have saved this family's reputation. Oh, you are very welcome, Alina. Okay, our work is done here, Deadly. Emergency managed. Goodbye and good luck. Bye-bye. You know, Deadly, when I volunteered to help you with this job, I knew it would be interesting. But I had no idea that it would include mythical creatures that aren't mythical. I mean, we just saw what happens when a werewolf bites a vampire. Who knew?